Welcome back to my channel Whiteboard E-Learning. Dear student, today we'll focus on these subtopics what I have written on the right hand side of the whiteboard, that is current loop as magnetic dipole and its dipole moment. It is under the chapter magnetism and matter, that is the chapter 5. Now second, that is the magnetic dipole moment of a revolving electron. Very important this topic today. And now 3, it is also very important, that is the bar magnet as equivalent solenoid. We will discuss these things qualitatively as well as quantitatively. Now current loop as a magnetic dipole. So we will start from the previous chapter what I have already covered in my previous video. That is, if we take one magnet, suppose this magnet, it is a bar magnet, suppose. So bar magnet has two poles, north pole and south pole, and each and every pole it has some strength that we call the pole strength, that is M and M, though are equal in magnitude but opposite in nature. Now they are separated by a distance, that is 12. This is 12. So now what is the magnetic dipole moment? That is M is equal to M into either pole strength into the distance between the two poles, that is 12. So it is M into 12. The directions of the magnetic dipole moment here, that is always from south to north. South to north. Okay. So it is actually resembles with the electric dipole moment. At the electric dipole moment, instead of pole strength, it was Q into 12. That is, electric dipole moment was P is equal to Q into 12. And at that time, the directions of the electric dipole moment was from negative to positive. Now, current loop. So if we just draw one current loop here, actually this loop is, the plane of the loop is perpendicular the plane of the board, plane of the whiteboard. That means, if we use the right hand thumb rule, if we grab it, the thumb will indicate the direction of the current, that is I. And then how the remaining fingers wrap the conductor in this way. So direction of the magnetic field will be in that direction. Okay. If you grab in this point, then the directions of the remaining finger will indicate the direction of the magnetic field. Here also, if you just grab the here, then it will indicate the direction of the current in this position, then your remaining finger will give you the direction of the magnetic field. So here magnetic field in the loop, inside the loop, is going from this side to that side, that is from bottom to, from lower side to upper side. Okay, so it is happening, it is occurring inside the loop. It is actually a current loop inside the current loop. We know inside the magnet the field lines will flow from south to north, and outside the magnet it is from north to south, we know. So here obviously inside the magnet from south to north, so it is south, it is south pole. It will behave as, the lower side of the loop will behave as south pole and it will behave as north pole. Okay, we can get the nature of the pole by other method also. The method is known as the clock face rule. So the upper side, if you see the loop from the upper side, you can see this is like that. It is clockwise or anti-clockwise? It is anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. And if you see the loop from the below side, you will see the loop as clockwise direction. Okay. So that already you have read these things in the class 10. This is known as the clock face rule. By the clock face rule, we get the nature of the pole. Here it will resembles as the, yes, it is north pole and it will be south pole. You know, the upper side already it is anti-clockwise. We have got, it is north pole. This is north pole, and in the lower side that is a clockwise south pole. Okay. So this is the current loop will behave as a magnet. Now quantitatively we will get the value of the magnetic dipole moment. So magnetic dipole moment, for that suppose it will be M. M will be proportional to I, that is the amount of current flowing through this wire, and also it will be proportional to the area of cross sections of the loop. So combined it will be M varies as IA. So M will equal to some constant IA. From the experimental value we have got K is equal to 1, then it will be M is equal to IA, and if we consider n number of turns for the loop, then it will be M is equal to NIA. Okay, so this is the formula. So actually magnetic dipole moment is a vector quantity, area also a vector, so this is the final value. Now how will you get the directions of the magnetic dipole moment? You align these fingers according to the direction of the current, then your thumb will indicate the direction of the magnetic dipole moment, that is M. Here also it is upper direction. And what is the unit of the magnetic dipole moment? That is area, the current, that is ampere. Ampere into, it is meter square. Meter square. So ampere meter square will be the unit. Okay, so we have covered the current loop as a magnetic dipole and its dipole moment. This is the formula. Now we will emphasize on the second topic, that is magnetic dipole moment of a revolving electron. It is also very important. Now I am drawing, suppose it is a nucleus, positive nucleus, one electron that is revolving with the velocity suppose v, and mass of the electron is suppose m. Okay, now it will complete the revolution in a particular time period, and that will be, suppose we have taken the time period of revolution, that is t, and charge of electron we know that is E. If we consider the magnitude of the charge, that is E. So now we know there is a definition of current. Definition of current is known as I is equal to dq dt. Here it is the charge passing in a time period. So this charge will complete the revolution in time period, that is t. So charge flowing, that is E, and taken the time, each and every t it will come back to the same point, that is time period, that is t. Okay, we also know the time period that is total distance by speed. So it will be total distance if from the center of the nucleus the electron has the distance, that is r, that radius of revolution, that is r, then it will be 2 pi r because it describes a circle. Now speed is v. Okay, so 2 pi r v. So in the equation 1, and this is the equation 2, so we are putting the value of t in the equation 1, then we will get I is equal to E by 2 pi r. In the place of t we will write 2 pi r by v. So it will EV by 2 pi r, is not it? So I is EV by 2 pi r. And what is our final aim? Our aim is to find out the magnetic dipole moment. So magnetic dipole moment, we already got the formula, that is magnetic dipole moment. Magnetic dipole moment formula was m is equal to IA. We have written magnitude here only, though it is a vector quantity. Now it is I, so I will be written as EV by 2 pi r. A will be pi r square, pi r r. So it will be EVR by 2. From this equation, this is the final equation, m is equal to EVR by 2. That is the magnetic dipole moment of a revolving electron. Now tell me, what will be the magnetic dipole moment's direction? So electron is flowing in this direction, but you know the direction of current is always opposite to the direction of electron. Okay, so current is flowing in this direction. So apply these fingers, curl your finger in this way, then your right hand thumb will indicate the direction of magnetic field. Now this magnetic field, if this loop is coincided with the plane of the board, then your thumb will indicate the direction of magnetic dipole moment, and that is perpendicular to the board but inward. Indicate it by this sign. Now we are writing m is equal to EVR by 2 and multiplying of the right hand side by MVR by 2m. Okay, now MVR has some value, significance. What is MVR? We know angular momentum that is L. L is equal to, angular momentum of L is equal to R cross P, where P is the linear momentum and this is the angular momentum. So it is actually R cross mv, where v is the velocity, mv that is the linear momentum. Okay, so r is the directions of the radius vector and v is the velocity of the electron. Suppose electron now here, so this is radius and this is the direction of v. Okay, now what is the direction of L? That is r cross v. Now it is r, we have extending the r so that v and r just intersect. Then a right hand corkscrew if we take and rotate r cross v, according to the cross product it will be r cross v. So the right hand corkscrew will come out in this direction. So L direction is opposite to the direction of M. Few minutes ago I have told you the M direction is inward, this one. So now the L direction is opposite to that, it is towards you. The tip of the right hand screw progress in this direction towards you. So that is the direction of L. So here what is the angle in between R and V? It is 90 degree. So R mv we have taken the magnitude and it will be sine 90 degree. Sine 90 degree will be 1. So we got mv here. Okay, so mv here has the meaning, that is the magnitude of angular momentum. So we can write here E by 2m into L. So here we can write m by L is equal to E by 2m. And if we take, so this is the magnitude we have taken. So direction of, if we treat it as a vector, then m and L and some negative sign will come, because m has the direction, already m has the direction that is towards the perpendicular to the board but inward, and L has the direction perpendicular to the board but outward. So inward outward, so that's why minus sign will come here. So that is the equation, the magnitude only. So m by L will be E by 2m. We'll extend this to the Bohr's postulate. What was the Bohr's postulate? We'll write here Bohr's postulate. One of the important Bohr's postulate is that quantizations of the orbit. So in that section Bohr states that the angular momentum of an electron is equal to integral multiple of h by 2 pi. So according to Bohr's postulate we can write L is equal to nh by 2 pi, h by 2 pi. So integral multiple, that is n. So n value will be 1, 2, 3, 4 in this way, 5. So this is an integer. It will not be 1.5 or 2.2, 3.4 in this way. So integer we have to take. So nh by 2 pi. So if we put the value here, already we got the formula, last formula we have got this one. So we are putting the value nh by 2 pi here. So m is equal to E by 2m into nh by 2 pi, that is the value of L. So it will be NEH by 2m. So it will be NEH by 4 pi m. Okay, we take n is equal to 1, that means m is equal to the minimum, m minimum, that is EH by 4 pi m. That is known as the Bohr magneton. Okay, that is also a unit, mu b. It is also noted by mu b, Bohr magneton. And you also know this Bohr's postulate is only valid for a single electron, that is like a hydrogen-like atom, hydrogen and hydrogen-like atom. Okay, now we'll go to the bar magnet equivalent solenoid. You know this is a solenoid, the helical spring, and it is wound over a non-conducting surface. And you can see this is a first circular coil, second circular coil, third circular coil, fourth circular coil, in this way. So each in the solenoid it is a combination of so many circular coils. Okay, circular loop. So we can also write here current loop. If it is connected to a cell, then it will behave as a bar magnet. How? You can see this one. So current is flowing in this direction, okay, in this direction. So if is current flowing in this direction, so this loop, the right hand side of the loop and the left hand side of the loop behaves as the two poles, and which side will be the which pole, it will be, we will get by clock phase rule also. Now suppose this circular loop we are taking, so this circular loop means this one. So current is flowing in this direction. So if we see from this side, it will be a clockwise direction. So clockwise means a south pole, okay, clockwise means south pole. So left hand side of the circular coil, the pole will be formed, that is south pole, and opposite side, if you see in the opposite side, it will be north pole. So in this way we can just write here, instead of the circular loop we can just draw, this is a bar magnet of south pole and north pole. Here for the second loop you will get south pole, north pole. In this way this north pole and south pole will cancel each other. Here also for the third loop you will get one tiny bar magnet, it will be south pole, it will be north pole. Then this south and north will also cancel out. So in this way you will get the two sides of the solenoid, this will be south pole and this will be north pole. So in this way it will behave as a bar magnet, okay, it will behave as a bar magnet. Now qualitatively I have shown you the solenoid will behave as a bar magnet, but there is a quantitative idea by which I will also show you the bar magnet is a equivalent solenoid. In my previous video already I have shown you the magnetic dipole moment due to a bar magnet in the axial point, that is mu0 by 4 pi 2m by r cube. Same thing will appear here also for the case of a solenoid. So then we will prove that bar magnet is an equivalent solenoid. Okay, suppose this is a solenoid, we are not drawing each and every circular coil on over this. So this is a solenoid you think, and it is the axis, and this is the midpoint of according to the suppose length. So it will be L, it will be also L, and we are taking a small portions of the solenoid, this one, and you have to find out the magnetic dipole moment at this point. Suppose this point is P and the distance of this P from the midpoint, that is O, suppose R. And this strip, the small strip of the solenoid we have taken, and it has the distance from the line of segment, that from the midpoint middle line, that is X, okay, and this has a thickness, that is dx. This has a thickness, that is dx. For a circular coil, the magnetic field for a circular coil we have found out as M is equal to B is equal to mu0 Ni S square by 2 S square plus X square whole to the power 3 by 2. This is the formula. So in this section we'll write, instead of what is N is known as the, here mu0 Ni S square by 2 S square plus X square whole to the power 3 by 2. N is the total number of turns, and small n is known as the number of turns per unit length, small n into dx, okay, small n into dx. So here we can write mu0 small n into dx I S square by 2 into S square plus X square whole to the power 3 by 2. That is, so if we have taken the small element dx, then it will be also small dv, okay. Now X square, what is A? A means the radius, A here the radius of the solenoid, and X, the distance of the point where we have to find out the magnetic induction field from the strip. This one, this distance is known as the x. Here this distance is, total distance is r, this is x, so this will be r minus x. So instead of x we have to write here mu 0 n dx I a square by 2 a square plus r minus x whole square to the power 3 by 2. Okay, dv is equal to mu 0 n dx I a square by, and now here this point what we have taken where we have to find out magnetic induction field, it is a far more away from the strip. So when it is far more away from the magnetic strip, then the radius of the solenoid will also be very small. So we can consider here r is greater than x, as well as r is greater than a also. So if we consider this, then we can write 2 a square we can neglect, x also we can neglect. So we can write directly r square into 3 by 2. That means it will be r cube. Okay. So now mu 0. So we will get this one. So now integrate both sides. Okay. So we will get b here. That is, mu 0 n I a square by 2 r cube are all are constant here. So it will be outside of the integration, then it will be dx, and here we have to integrate from, this one is half part will be negative side, half part will be in the right side of the middle line. So it will be minus L2, if it is plus L it will be minus L, so minus L2 plus L. Then mu 0 n I a square by 2 r cube, so it will be L minus L2 plus L. Integration of x will be x. Integration of x will be x. So here it will be mu 0 n I a square 2l plus l minus or minus l, that is 2l by 2 r cube. Mu 0, and we can write here this n and 2l. So total number of turns by total length, that is 2l. Here it will be 2. So n by 12 is equal to n. So n into 12 is equal to capital N. So instead of small n and 12, we can write here capital N. Okay, I and a square by 2 r cube. Now we have multiplied here by pi. Here also multiplied with pi. Okay, no problem at all. So when will be multiplied by pi, then it will be pi a square. Okay, so pi a square has value, so mu 0 n I, what is the value of pi a square? That is a capital A. Pi a square means capital A, that is the area, total area. Now by 2 pi r cube, and we also know from few minutes ago we have found out, that is the magnetic dipole moment. Magnetic dipole moment due to a current loop. Magnetic dipole moment due to a current loop, we have found out m is equal to n NIA. Okay, so instead of NIA we can write here mu 0 m by 2 pi r cube. So here we can write mu 0 2m by 2 into 2 pi r cube, that is mu 0 by 4 pi 2m by r cube, that is B. This relation resembles with the magnetic field what we have found out my previous video due to a bar magnet. Due to a bar magnet, we have found out at the axial point, that is the magnetic field mu 0 by 4 pi 2 pi by r cube, 2m by mu 0 by 4 pi 2m by r cube. Here also we have found out for the case of the solenoid the same expression. Okay, you can just compare this expression with the previous expression what I have already deduced. So it clearly confirms that bar magnet, qualitatively I have shown you, this is qualitatively, that means according to quantity. So this is quantitatively I have also shown you, this is actually behaves as a bar magnet. Thank you for watching my video. Then don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe my channel for next upcoming videos. Thank you.